Ladies and gentlemen, it is November 6th, Thursday, November 6th, 2025. Here's what's coming up on the Owen Report today.
Alright, I think we're up. Let me turn this shit down some. Okay, so I did figure out how the raids
of economic news today.
So that's fucking great news, because that shit I could not
The
stand.
administration specifically has a messaging problem when it comes to the economy.
I left the difficulty and everything the same. I didn't switch anything up. I just stopped the raids because I can't do.
Everything that's in the news
I cannot stand that shit.
that is affecting the average American person. This is what's affecting the average American person, not the shutdown. Now, the shutdown is about to get a lot more real for a lot more people, but it can go away. These numbers are what the American people.
Alright, so I should be able to go get.
Long
Hopefully, I don't know
It's
if we
worse
have any loot
than
left here,
ever.
but we're gonna try.
And this is what the American people care about. This is what's affecting their bottom line more than any shutdown. And nobody's talking about that. Everybody talks shutdown. Nobody talks real economy. Well, we will today. We will today.
Man, that should be getting me raging, bro.
It's going to cover all
Is it
different
your
sectors.
first? Oh, is this the same?
And then we may
What the
get
fuck?
into
Hold on.
what's going on
I have the old
with the stock
shut up,
market
man.
right now,
Bro, what the
and how
fuck?
this is all going to impact the stock market. And we're anticipating the decision from the Supreme Court tomorrow on Trump's tariffs.
Okay, I got the new chat up.
If he'll even be able to do it.
I got the new chat up if
So I got some
anybody
sound
chats.
from Amy Coney Barrett today, and then we're going to be joined by attorney Bob Barnes to talk about the Supreme Court decision, what he anticipates is going to happen in the Supreme Court, and then what's going to happen with the markets after that. So we got all of that. Huge staff. That's going to be a major part of the show. We're going to re-examine the election from Tuesday, at least some aspects of it. It's not going to be too heavy. But we got a couple aspects from Tuesday night's election
get the
results
fuck
that
outta
we
here.
are
What is
going
this
to
guy doing?
analyze here. And to me, there's two developments that we're looking at. And it's the old story of, are our elections rigged? Which we've been through before. We can kind of understand that. And then there's the other story, which
I wonder if I can fix this
who's
space up real
responding
quick.
to these election results in the right way. Who's getting it and who's not? And then why is that playing out? Because it happens to be on the same dividing line
Oh, you fucking
of so
idiot.
many other issues. So you're kind of seeing this rift now that we've seen before. We do have some geopolitical news. Seems impossible to avoid these days. So we do have some geopolitical news, some interesting stuff that you probably haven't seen before.
1, 2, 3.
And then how this issue on foreign
I guess 4
policy
is
is affecting Republican
mark.
Party politics, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's not going away anytime soon. Now, if we have time, I anticipate this is probably going to take most of the show. But if we have time, I really want to get into this healthcare news. And I can just state it simply that the average American has just seen their healthcare costs go up 200%, 300%. I mean, we're talking dramatic here. We're talking your whole budget just got changed. Type of numbers. So I'm hoping I can get into that, but I don't know if we're gonna have the time. Very loaded show today. And you know, we're gonna also, I don't think we'll do this today, but I'm noticing there's a debate on 9/11 once again. And it's like, okay, either you believe in the official narrative or you don't. And then so much of your political ideology and your political worldview, that fork in the road determines where it goes. So it's kind of an important issue. So we'll talk about all of that and more on today's Owen Report.
This news update was brought to you by
Oh,
the
come on, man.
1776 Law Center,
Man.
the official legal team of the Owen Report.
Folks, I want to tell you about my friends at mypatriotsupply.com. And I'm going to urge you to get prepared with my friends.
What in the...
Supply.com/Owen. And ever since COVID, millions of Americans have started buying preparedness supplies.
Oh, you gotta
especially
be fucking kidding me,
food,
bro.
which is a good thing.
Okay,
There's a
this
big
base
mistake
is
most
fucked.
people make with their emergency food supply. They don't have any way to cook it in a real
Until we kill this
emergency when
fucking
power
giant,
is
this
out or
fucking
the
base
food
is straight
down.
fucked.
That's why our friends over at My Patriot Supply created their Black Friday Survival Special. It comes with a 4-week food supply plus $150 worth of free gifts, including everything you need to prepare your emergency meals. Like a cook stove, fuel, fire starters, plus a water purifier, bug out bag, and more. It's the complete survival kit your family needs to ride out natural disasters, civil unrest, or anything. It's also a great Christmas gift. Now's the time to do the shopping.
You gotta be
So, go
fucking
over to my
kidding me,
friends
bro.
At mypatriotsupply.com
we lost him.
/Owen. With all the uncertainty in the world right now, we simply can't afford to be unprepared. So prepare yourself at mypatriotsupply.com /Owen with this limited time Black Friday special.
I turned raids off, but that fucking guy is just in that area. He's just in that area fucking hanging out, and it's real fucking annoying, dude. All of a sudden, he just won't fucking go away. Like, he wasn't even... He didn't even start in that area, which is crazy. As a matter of fact, also, I realized that something I need to be doing in my base is putting a backdoor. But I don't want that to happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be looking at the real economic numbers here that nobody else is really talking about, nobody else is really covering. Now, you can go out and find it. These are all easily available numbers for anybody that wants to look at them. These numbers are coming from a myriad of sources, whether you trust government sources or
Cry face, man.
independent sources, or maybe the best source, your own experience. Your own real-world experience, your own experience with the grocery stores and the costs and the energy costs and the price at the pump and insurance and everything else. And this is why there's such a disconnect, specifically on the economy, and this is maybe the #1 issue when it comes to elections. Such a
Alright, so I don't
disconnect
have
between
shit on me
this
now.
administration and Americans.
I almost feel
Trump
like I
talks
should
about how
really
great the economy
start
is.
from the bottom and
when
just
Trump
get all
talks
my
about
shit
the
together
golden
again.
age of the economy that we're in, it's just simply not true for the
We
average
need...
American. Now, it might be true for his friends, it might be true for his
this, I
donors,
think.
but it's not true for the average American. It's simply not. And the numbers bear it out. In a real ugly and nasty way, actually. In a very revealing, ugly and nasty way. But this is what the average American is experiencing. And so you're gaslighting them when you say how great things are, when they're just simply not, and all of the numbers prove it. Now, before I get into this very large stack of economic news, I've remained consistent on this, and I still believe this. This is the one area where I'm willing to give Trump the benefit of the doubt. This is the one area where if I have faith in Donald Trump that he has a vision for the economy and he can do what needs to do to reach that vision, and it will be good for America, this is that one area where I'm willing to, let's say, put faith in President Trump. Let's put it that way. I don't like using that word in politics, but let's just put it like that. The foreign policy stuff, foreign aid stuff, seems like that's already set in stone. We're not getting true conservatism there. We're getting military-industrial complex. We're getting establishment.
Oh, we need this. We need this Flint spear.
Policy there. I don't think that's changing. I don't think we can avoid the AI surveillance state grid that's being built. I think that's a done deal. Now, how that impacts the economy, I suppose, is yet to be seen. But on just trade and negotiations, tariffs and the manufacturing and everything and the deals that Trump is working out, that's the one area where, even though it's bad, I'm willing to say I think Trump can fix this because we've seen him do it before. But that doesn't change the reality that the economy right now is bad, very bad. And saying it's not is doing harm to your approval ratings, whether you care about
Wood,
those or
resin,
not. It's
and
doing
leather.
harm to the morale of this movement. It's doing harm to the credibility of this administration. And it's spitting in the face of the average American that knows it's not true. Now, let's look at these actual numbers. Shocking and horrifying, you might say. But undeniable. U.S. household debt hits record $18.6 trillion as student loan defaults explode. This is from the New York Fed, publishing its quarterly report on household debt and credit, and we'll get more specific into these arenas. Surprising exactly no one, the report showed that household debt increased by $197 billion, 1% in a single quarter, quarter 3 of 2025, to a new record high of $18.59 trillion. Split between $13.5 trillion in housing debt and $5.1 trillion in non-housing debt. Most of that being credit card debt, but we'll have that coming up in a second. Now, here's some of the more.
So I don't know, man. I don't think that I'm gonna be able to make it to get my shit back. I was hoping that I could get all my stuff back.
$37 billion in the third quarter, and
but
13.7.
We're having a lot of trouble here.
At the end of September 2025, mortgage.
First off, we cannot kill that big ass giant right now. That's a fucking for sure thing.
0.82% prior quarter. Now that's not as bad, but the delinquency rates were already at a record high, so it's already as worse.
I want to
as it's
clear
ever been.
all the deaths we have, because we have a lot of death. We died a lot. Oh, what is he doing?
And you had an inflated housing market.
Bro, this nigga's just straight taking
Now
the
you have
fucking
inflated
house
interest
over,
rates.
bro. Like, this was straight punking me out of the
And with the
neighborhood.
cost of living going up, but
Look at that.
income's going up. This is obviously
For
where
no
you're
ass
running into
reason. He doesn't even know I'm
problems.
here.
And this is where you're getting your delinquencies. This is where you're getting your debt. Credit card balances rose by $24 billion from the previous quarter and stood at $1.2
So you have no idea what
trillion.
I've been going through with this fucking guy right
Delinquency
here.
rate at 12.4%, highest since 2011. Auto loan balances held steady at $1.6
Come on, you
trillion.
fucks.
Home equity line of credit balances rose by $11 billion.
So much better with this weapon.
$422 billion. Student loan balances rose by $15 billion and stood at $1.65 trillion. All right, so we're just throwing numbers at you here. Let's zoom in on some of these. Credit
Look at
card
this, we're
debt
just
reaches
breaking my shit apart.
$1.2 trillion, in line with last year's all-time high New York Fed fine. Collectively,
This is
Americans
depressing.
owe $1.2 trillion on their credit cards, according to a new report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. A separate report by
This
Equifax
fool literally just took
found
over
that
his
many
base.
consumers are
I
continuing
couldn't
to
stop
spend
him.
despite elevated prices and high borrowing
Alright,
costs.
so we have some
Now you have to
deaths.
look at this, and there's a
over
couple
here.
questions.
I think we picked up all the. I think we picked all of them up.
To me, the loudest message that you're hearing from this is Americans are in an unaffordability crisis, and so
All right, so
they're
these
going
two,
into credit
we
card
cleared
debt.
as much as we can here.
Now, I don't think you can make that as a universal statement, because there are people that are very irresponsible
Trust me,
financially.
we will be killing this guy.
But I don't think that's the big issue here. I think that's
just not
part
right
of the
this
issue.
second,
I don't
so-
think that's the big issue. To me, when you look at the credit card debt, what you have is people that would normally pay for groceries, pay for dinner, whatever some smaller costs are, Now they're putting these on credit cards when normally they would just be putting them on their debit card. Or if you really want to go back in time, this old thing we used to call cash. So now they're putting all of this stuff on credit cards because they don't have the cash.
The fuck is
They don't have the
this?
money. So that's a sign of a very bad economy. Okay, and what ends up happening, they can't afford the grocery bill, they can't afford the dinner, whatever. You may see now, if you like to shop online, you can order a $30 pizza and get it in installments. You can pay for a
That's
$30 pizza in
crazy.
installments.
That's crazy.
That's a sign of a bad economy. You can go shop online. A lot of these
No, I've noticed that too. I noticed
online
some random
storefronts
shit,
now
like just like
will do a
food,
similar
you know.
thing. You buy a product,
Like,
you
yeah,
pay
if you
$50,
wanna make
they'll let you
payments
pay it
on
in
it, it's
4
just like, what
installments
the fuck?
for a $40, $50 purchase. That's a sign of a bad economy. Or they put it on the credit card. So then what do you have? So you have people in an unaffordability crisis. Then they put purchases on a credit card that they then can't afford to pay off their credit card debt. This is the sign of a bad economy. Now again, I do think there are people that make bad financial decisions. And you can go a number of different directions with that conversation. It's like, well, what do you expect people to do? Or how do you expect people to know? Fair conversations. Fair conversations. I'm not here to have that conversation today. I'm just looking at these numbers and I'm saying it's not a good economy. Stop telling us it's a good economy. In fact, these numbers show this is like red alert levels. This is like red alert. The economy is in such a bad place.
I
Again,
think that is not the one.
I think
though.
between Lutnick and Vaught and Besant and Trump, maybe they can do something about this. And Pulte in the housing market, maybe they can. I don't know if you can get a better team. Maybe they can. And look, I even understand why Trump does it. I even understand why Trump comes out and says it's so good, because it's just how he is. He just believes you just always say the positive thing. Just say the positive thing. Keep morale high. Say it's good. Just say it's good. It's just a messaging strategy. It's a messaging tactic for him. But it's different now. Now for Trump, he doesn't care. He doesn't have to win another election, so he can get away with this stuff. But the administration is losing credibility, and now the Republicans are having to repeat this talking point about the economy. Nobody's believing it, so people aren't going to vote Republican. Meanwhile, they go out, they listen to some communist, and he's talking about how bad the economy is. And they agree, because it's true. Let's continue. America's credit card debt reaches new record high. Let's start pile driving here. Biden's record debt forgiveness barely made a dent in the $1.7 trillion student loan crisis. Here's why. Well, they couldn't even really do it. They got some of it through, but they couldn't make them cancel the student debt like they wanted to, or forgive the student debt like they wanted to. You know, this is a weird issue because there's multiple issues that are built into this issue, like price of college and the predatory student loan process. So this one is a little more, you know, you kind of got to look at some different angles with this one. And now, a lot of people are just deciding they're not even going to go to college because it's just not worth it. So you wonder if that's eventually going to balance itself out as far as the price is concerned. But it's not going to get rid of 1.7 trillion in student debt.
Trillion.
A record.
Trillion.
Office of the Commercial Mortgage-Backed Securities delinquency rate hits record 11.8%. Much worse than financial crisis. Multifamily delinquencies soar to 7.1%. Commercial real estate loans on office and multifamily properties got further bludgeoned in October. The delinquency rate of office mortgages that have been scrutinized into commercial mortgage-backed securities spiked to 11.8% in October, the worst ever, and over a percentage point higher than the peak of the financial crisis meltdown. And you can see where we're at on these graphs here. And this one is even worse because you got other entities here that have debt on these commercial buildings. So they have debt on the commercial buildings that they can't pay off because nobody is renting the commercial building because either they can't afford it or people just work from home now. So that's a big bubble. Student debt. It's actually, that story I read was from a couple months ago. The new number is actually 1.8 trillion. So at 1.7 trillion, it was a record. But it's already over at 1.8. Warning sign, 1.7 million vehicles were repossessed last year. Debt assistance organizations are seeing more and more calls for their help. Delinquents on student loans, delinquents on credit card bills, delinquents on mortgage payments, delinquents on auto loan payments. Sounds like a bad economy. Sounds like Americans are struggling. And then you keep telling them how good it is. That's insulting to them. That's insulting to them. Auto loan delinquencies are soaring, with consumers hit by high car prices. Auto delinquencies are up more than 50% since 2010, Vintage Score says. You know, I wonder about the price of the cars. To me, I don't think that that's the issue here. Because the price of the market's going to react to what people are paying. And if you're like me, you're just kind of like a market hawk. You like to follow the real estate markets. You like to follow the car markets. Maybe you're buying, maybe you're not. Maybe you like to do it with ticket prices. We're into that. Call you a ticket hawk. So I don't really see it as the price issue. I mean, you can get a car mostly that you're happy with. It's the interest rates on the loans that I see as the problem. But I don't want to wade too much into that because I want to stick on the actual economic news here. But that is kind of an interesting one-off of that conversation. U.S. household debt up modestly in third quarter, New York Fed says. So it continues to go up. The household debt is still at record highs. Household debt hits record 18.6 trillion as delinquencies remain elevated. Young borrowers are struggling the most. Now, this is where you could say this is what's showing a sign of, let's say, bad financial decisions. And there's no doubt that this stuff goes on. But here you talk about the younger borrowers. Household debt, younger borrowers. Well, what are you talking about? You're talking about student debt. You're talking about a student loan that they were pressured into signing on to. You're talking about a student loan for an 18-year-old, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they've probably never made a purchase over $1,000 in their life. So to me, this is a larger issue. I think it's very predatory on young people, and I think there is a legitimate defense for them to say, well,
me?
I was told I needed to go to college. I thought.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Or
my fucking body's disappeared.
I'm trying to get into the asset column. I want
my body, and then you know the even fucking stupider fucking thing. The body's disappeared, and so are the fucking enemies.
Entertainment and things that aren't necessary.
It's like the whole the whole shit is cleared out right here.
The credit card debt,
which is fucked, bro, because I had the fucking cores on me.
What are we gonna start telling young people?
Fucking god, this fucking game just keeps getting more fucking retarded and retarded and fucking retarded, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so now, I mean, how does that work? They don't
We're
respawn.
talking
The
in
cores
40s.
don't respawn. There's not infinite fucking
Are you gonna tell
cores.
young people,
There's
sorry,
only a set
housing
amount of
market
cores in the
isn't
fucking
for you?
game.
Maybe try in your 30s, maybe try in your 40s.
This is fucking stupid,
That's the
dude.
message then? It's kind of demoralizing. And yet, that would be the message. Given these
Wow,
results.
man, that's so fucked, dude.
U.S. home value growth is entering recessionary territory.
Such a stupid, stupid fucking game,
Now,
dude.
You can just look at this graph that we have on the screen here, and you can see for yourself.
It's like
what
crazy
he's talking
punishing.
about.
And you know what, man? I don't even
And so
for
you
some
had
reason
the
this shit doesn't
value
even
of the
feel
house
like
go
the
all
same
way up
base I
here.
was
This is
in.
when it was probably overly inflated. And you actually want to know what caused this? You want to know what actually caused this right here, folks? I will guarantee you this is mostly Texas and Florida. And maybe like a Montana or an Idaho. But basically everywhere the liberals are fleeing. So here's what happened. Because notice this is right here. At
Damn it,
2020.
bro. This
And
sucks
I know
fucking
for a fact
ass,
this happened
man.
in Texas.
I needed those cores so bad,
When
dude.
the COVID tyranny got to such an extreme degree.
Fuck, man. I had them on my body and I died and I
Democrat-run
fucking lost them, man.
Specifically California and New York.
I
where
don't know
they
why
already
they have to play that
had an
fucking
inflated
stupid game.
housing market.
Well,
Where
your
their
stuff's
houses
gonna
were already
despawn
unaffordable.
because it's a fucking game where
They
we
were
do
basically
spawning
able
and
to
you
turn
despawn
their
with your
inflated
loot.
equity
Like, fuck off, bro.
into Texas and into Florida, and that's what drove these prices up.
Yeah, where's
That's what-
this
that's-
fucking guy
that's
now?
what
Now I'm
drove
gonna get
this up
fucking
right
killed
here in
outside the whole
2020.
fucking thing by this stupid twat.
All the inflated house value from New York and California, they moved to Florida and Texas, took their equity there,
Yeah,
and basically
everything's
caused those markets
fuck
to
off,
inflate.
man.
So that's what this is. And then this is it coming back down to earth, basically right here. And now it's just fighting to survive off
That
of
sucks ass, man. This
all
whole
the
fucking
decisions
thing's
that were
fucked.
made in these last 10 years, right here.
Well, we might as well just go fucking. Let's
But
go,
I can
honey.
tell
We're gonna have to
you
start from the beginning
From somebody
again.
that just follows the real estate market kind of out of
Let's start from
out
fucking
of-
day
out of
one
hobby,
and start
but also
fucking
out of
building up all our
necessity
shit
to
because
stay
we
put on
lost
these
everything we had that
And
was
I've
high
been trying
high
to,
level.
I've been trying to move in Austin, virtually impossible. Like I said, unless you want to make
It's
a bad
this game is
financial
just
decision.
so fucking unforgiving, man. Like,
So you have to weigh. You have to weigh the decision. I could move. I could buy a house and I could move. I could do it tomorrow, and it would be a horrendous financial decision for me to do that. So I'm not going to do it. Somebody else might, and then they end up delinquent, and then they're part of these statistics. So I get it, and they might have to move. This is Austin specifically. Median number of days it takes a home to sell in most populous U.S. cities. And it's number one here in Austin, by far. 88 days in the market.
oh my god.
So now, you're trying to sell your house. You had an inflated payment. You had a high mortgage rate on your high interest rate on your mortgage. You list your house at just what you paid for it. It's sitting on the market. You drop it $20,000. It's sitting on the market. You drop it $40,000. Somebody picks up the phone and asks and says they're interested. And now you might not want to sell because you're taking a huge hit. So that's the state of it right here in Austin. I can even tell you from experience. What do you think about this one? McDonald's is struggling to hold on to its low-income customers. The company says there's been a double-digit decline in traffic across the industry from lower-earning customers. So now poor people, lower-class people, can't even afford McDonald's.
Yeah, they rose the
All right.
they rose the prices on that.
So McDonald's is for the middle.
I went to like I don't even really eat
McDonald's.
McDonald's, but one day I went there and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking
And look,
have
I'm
like
not
lunch
judging.
at McDonald's. Let's have
There's
some
no
McDonald's, you
judgment
know. And fucking and the price was way the
I think
fuck
it's
up
kind of
there.
like, you know,
I bought like a Big Mac meal, and that
You know
shit was
who's-
like
you know
20
who's eating
something
McDonald's?
bucks. And I was like, what the fuck?
Maybe
20
everybody's
something
been there.
bucks.
Maybe it wasn't
And then the
McDonald's,
burger
maybe it
was like
somewhere else where you would go buy a burger
the
for
Big
a buck.
Mac was fucking small as fuck. I'm like, dude,
For
I,
me,
I was like, I'm
that
not coming back here
lifestyle
again.
was,
I was like, I'm not gonna come back here. I haven't been back since. I haven't eaten McDonald's
That
since
might
then.
be
That was
all
like
you and your
maybe
friends
2
can
years
afford.
ago.
So you go to the fast food place, whatever it is, and you buy a couple cheeseburgers for $5. And maybe that's the case for some families.
Oh
If
man.
the economy is so
All right, I
bad
think I
that
need
McDonald's
to.
has to raise its prices to such a degree
I don't
that
know,
now
man.
low-income
I
people
don't know
can't
if I
afford
should
to
build the
go eat
base
at
here because
McDonald's.
after seeing what happened, I almost
say
want to
that's
go
a bad
all the
sign.
way back to the beginning because
Job cuts in October hit
This might
highest
not be a
level
good
for the
idea
first
to
month
build
in
here.
22 years. They're cutting jobs. They're cutting jobs, and this is
Okay,
only gonna
maybe
get
what I'll
worse
do is
as AI takes over.
I'm not. Maybe what we do is we don't build everything out
It's only going to get worse.
and we just grind here a little bit.
And
We
we
need some wood.
are not even
We need some more boxes
anywhere
here.
near where we're going to be with AI. Now, I've been working in media for so long that I can't sit here and tell you how it's going to impact other industries. And I'm sure media will kind of be one of the last places where the human element is inherently needed. But I don't know, maybe an AI person, an AI system can just pretend to be a broadcaster. Pretend to be a talk show host. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they can replace even me.
Oh, they already
But
have
eventually,
those.
I'll tell you, in this industry,
There's actually a fucking
they'll let
AI that has his own
basically
YouTube
replaces
that talks
the
about
role of
AI.
your editors, the role of your producers, if you want it that way. Absolutely. They've already tried. They already have some things, but it's not very effective. It's not very good.
Shit, man, we need to go back to the beginning because the
But if you're
beginning
in
we have the upgraded
Manufacturing, if
area.
you're in shipping, production, consumer goods,
We need the leather.
that's where AI is
and the
really
bones, I
taking
think.
over. Maybe farming soon. I would say probably the financial sector as well.
I feel like we should take the cores.
I don't
Also,
think
those
this
are very
number goes
important.
anywhere but down. Or I guess you would say up if you're talking about job cuts. Highest level in 22 years, job cuts.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Job cuts for October totaled 153,000.
Don't take all your important stuff in case you
surge
die.
from September,
And you can't get your body back, and you lose
and
everything.
a 175% surge higher than the same month a year ago. It was the highest level for any October since 2003, and has been the worst year for layoffs since 2009. Companies in the tech sector announced over 33,000 job cuts, nearly 6 times the level in September. Tech heavy.
Alright, we're just gonna
That's
walk
where the
back.
AI is
I don't know.
taking over.
I really don't know what I'm doing, bro. Like,
So less and less jobs, more and more debt. Not a good
we
combination.
need a lot of these.
And more
I
and more
don't know why,
energy
but we do.
consumption,
Actually,
by
we
the
do
way,
because
which
we
is
need
only
to
gonna cause
upgrade.
energy bills to go up.
And we need a lot of deer.
And where are all of these people going? Well, they're going into the gig economy.
Okay, whatever. We
They're going into
we
the
have to
service
have to
economy.
rebuild everything.
Which used to mostly be reserved for younger people, which used to mostly be reserved as
We need
transitional
food. We need a
work.
ton of food.
Now it's what people rely on. Now it's what people need. And it doesn't deliver what they need, and they can't rely on it.
Oh man.
Layoffs in October hit highest level for month in 20 years as companies cite cost cutting and AI. Companies are cutting costs. Again, another sign, not a good economy. Now maybe this is some good
Yeah.
news ahead of the upcoming holidays. Walmart's Thanksgiving dinner. Is it truly 25% cheaper this year? Here's what we know. U.S. President Donald Trump praised Walmart's 2024 Thanksgiving dinner deal, calling it proof that Republicans manage better prices than Democrats. I think this is supposed to say 2025. Unless they're saying it's 25% cheaper than it was in 2024. That subheadline is a little confusing. The Walmart Thanksgiving bundle, President Trump says, the Walmart Thanksgiving bundle is down 25% from the year before. So I don't know. I don't buy the Walmart Thanksgiving dinner, so I don't know. That could be true. Are they out yet? Can you even buy a Walmart Thanksgiving dinner? It might be a little too soon, so I don't know. We'll have to find out. I do find it coincidental, dare I say? Do you believe it's coincidental? As the SNAP benefits run dry, that Walmart is lowering prices?
The funny thing about Walmart is, I forget where I seen this, but I think I seen like a documentary, and it was showing how Walmart
how much of these
basically
grocery stores
gets
are being
everything from China
by the
and
SNAP
then
benefits.
sells it to the U.S. So like,
And if you want to know why these guys are really suffering,
basically, the Walmart family
look at what the government does to
and
these businesses.
China are the ones that are profiting
Look at what
from
the
every buy
government
that you,
does to small
every
businesses.
purchase you make at Walmart, that those two profit.
A business like Sergio Garcia's
That's my book for license.
needs up to 5 licenses or permits
All this is my license and everything. That's a big book.
to sell food legally.
My permits.
Money here to pay to follow the law.
Some more than 50,000.
$50,000 in fees, including taxes and insurance.
And these guys, meanwhile,
There's nothing. Not pay nothing.
It's against state law to sell food without a license. In 1974, the county made it
Which
so
one is
inspectors
more-
could write
which
you a
one is
$250
stronger?
ticket for violating this. I asked the county, how much in fines have they collected? Their answer? None.
You're not gonna cite them. Yeah, they'll go home, whatever. They'll come right back. You do it every time.
They said they have not been able to use fines to deter unpermitted mobile food vendors, adding that they don't tip.
So that's just one example of a larger problem. Too much government intervention, too many taxes, too much regulation, too much burden on businesses that it makes it hard for them to even turn a profit. And then they have to raise their prices, which adds to the unaffordability crisis. And then you have the unaffordability crisis, which leads to the debt crisis. And then the debt crisis leads to recession and collapse. Now, this is all happening. This is all undeniable. Most people probably listening to this have even experienced it to some extent. So you
We gotta
can't say it's
rebuild
not
this
happening.
base.
You can't say it's the golden age. If you want to ask for patience, if you want to ask for faith, if you want to sell hope, that's fine. Don't sell us bullcrap. Don't sell us lies.
What do we need to upgrade
We'll
this?
see what the deal is like with that Thanksgiving dinner. Apparently,
Wood,
Trump has
wood
already
and
been
flint.
called out saying it's fake news. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the Walmart Thanksgiving dinner. Anybody can go to Walmart and compare
Damn
the
it,
price
dude.
from last year to
Okay.
this year, or compare what's inside of the package too, and decide if the price is down or not. Or is this just Trump trying to throw red meat out there in a struggling economy where everybody's starting to kind of scratch their head and say, why do you keep talking about the economy being so great? It's not so great. Now, the big story is about to be tariffs. The big story is about to be tariffs. But I want to get into a quick market thing here in a second.
We also need a lot of food.
Because there's some interesting stuff going on in the markets right now, to say the least. There's some interesting stuff going on in the markets, and there's some conflicting opinions. So I'll give you my opinion on this. We'll hear from some other pundits with their opinion on this. But anybody
Maybe
paying
wood and
attention
leather.
knows it's kind of it's very tense. And there's a trend that's been going on from this White House that's been translating to the market that didn't hit today like it normally does.
8 fucking
And I'm wondering if that's not a sign. And this is a trend that I've been following and I've been using, and didn't really hit today. So I don't know. We'll have more on that coming up here in just a second. But it ties into the economic news. And if the stock market collapses, I don't know. I mean, how much of a story does that become? Hey, I want to tell you about our friends at Allegiance Gold. ProtectWithOwen.com to learn about their special right now for this audience. Get up to $5,000 in free metals. Now, precious metals, heavy metals, this has been another major topic in the economy lately. But let me ask you something. Are you the type who waits to be rescued or the one who protects your family before the storm hits? You've already seen the cracks. The dollar buys less every month. Banks are showing stress, and this market is being propped up with printed money. It's not if it breaks, it's how prepared you'll be when it does. Here's what they don't want you to notice. When the system starts cracking, the insiders quietly move first. That's why central banks, major institutions, and billionaires are piling into gold right now. And that's why I've partnered with Allegiance Gold. When paper markets burn or the market falls, gold and silver don't. They're yours. Not the government, not the banks, not Wall Street's, yours. Allegiance Gold has been around for nearly a decade and is trusted by over 7,000 clients nationwide and growing. Relationship-driven, A+ with the Better Business Bureau, 4.9 stars from real clients, transparent, and they focus on educating you first. Right now, they're offering up to $5,000 in free gold and silver with your qualified investments. Whether through your 401k, IRA, or savings, they'll make it simple to move into something real before the next reset. Call 844-790-9191, 844-790-9191, or go to protectwithowen.com. That's protectwithowen.com. Protect your wealth and your freedom.
I should have built more of these little things. It's just every time things I keep automatically putting more on.
So, the stock market. Let me tell you something that didn't happen today. In fact, let me check back on this right now. I could be very depressed, but I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. Let's check. Yeah, it went down. It actually went down. Maybe it'll pump tomorrow. So, I don't like talking about stocks as much and betting as much. I'm kind of starting to change my mindset on this. I might actually lean into it. I just kind of found it like, it's like talking about, you and your wife's intimacy, type of thing. Like maybe there's a time where you do with friends or something, but not something you really broadcast on the air. Like I don't need you to know about what me and my wife are into. So that's why I don't really talk about betting or my stocks or anything like that.
Okay, so
because it's just kind of like you don't need to know what I do in the bedroom. But I'm slowly starting to change. Not about the bedroom thing, although some of you might need to. You might. Just don't go any further on that. But no, I've been thinking about going more into some of the financial stuff. Betting, stocks. Now, there's been a play that I've been using. And if you really follow me on X, you might have picked up on this the other day. It's like, I don't even like talking about it. It's like, again, it's like talking about, your private life, which I don't like to do. But I mean, I've used certain trends and certain patterns in the markets, in the stock market this year specifically, and I've done extremely well. I've never been in the stock market before this year. I basically decided when the entire mainstream media establishment came out and said that Trump was going to collapse the stock, I made a big bet. I made a big bet, and I won big time. And I'll tell you that you see these charts, like I said, this is kind of dirty, folks, but full transparency, I'll just tell you. It's like I don't even like talking to people. It's so dirty. But it's just the truth, and I posted it the other day. The top earners, they said the top earners were the Pelosi trade tracker and the inverse Kramer. Great strategies to use, by the way. Highly successful, proven successful. Much longer than me. I beat both of them. Okay? I beat both of them. It's just true. And one of the trends that I've been using was whatever, you kind of just follow whatever the White House is doing. And quite frankly, I think it's all insider trading. And so it's like once you kind of realize how the insider trading works and how the whales like to move and then ride the waves, You can do pretty well, but you have to be fast. That's the only thing about it. You have to be very fast, and you have to be paying very close attention, or you miss it.
So we need to
But
kill
basically
a
what
fuck
happens
ton
is,
of deer and
whenever
fucking boar.
somebody goes to the White
First
House,
off, we need to get a fucking
CEO,
a bow and arrow. So I think in order to get a bow and arrow, we
hell,
gotta kill the
even
boars.
an entire industry of people. Whenever they go to the White House and they get put in front of the media with President Trump, or President Trump names them by name, or their company by name, it's almost been a 100% success rate. If you buy right then, you're gonna get a bump. Sometimes it's huge. That's been the name of the game for months. For months. Well, Novo Nordisk was at the White House today, got a shout out from Trump, had the CEO speaking, and they got like a 0.1% bump, and it didn't even move. I have not seen that. I've not seen a CEO and a company get a shout out from Trump at the Oval Office and not get at least a 1% bump. Usually it's like 5 to 10. Like, and if you catch it, and you hit that crest and you sell, and if you know who's going to be in the White House that day, and you know if they're going to be getting a shout out from Trump or stepping in front of the podium, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I learned how to ride these waves. It's like, I know when the wave pool is going to turn on. It's basically what it is. Well, that didn't happen today. Did it happen with Eli Lilly? Now, Eli Lilly is kind of, that stock is so insanely inflated that I don't even know if it's fair to. Let's see if Eli Lilly jumped. Eli Lilly got the bump. He actually got a nice bump. Novodisc did not. So I guess maybe it
God
still
damn it,
apply.
man.
But here's my real point. The markets are extremely tense and volatile right now. You have this giant AI bubble. You have all of the money moving out of consumer goods and moving into AI. And it's a little more dynamic than that, but that's the most simply way to put it. Consumer goods and some of the old horse stocks, people are moving their money out of that. They're moving it into tech. They're moving it into AI. And so now there's this big fear that it's all about to collapse. And people are theorizing that Altman knows this is coming. Some people think that Karp knows this is coming. Some people are watching plays against Palantir. They're watching plays against OpenAI. And so there's this huge growth in the market.
We just need wood
and now there's some uncertainty. And I'm wondering if what happens with the tariffs will kind of be the moment that breaks. It's like, okay, are we sure about this? Are we gonna keep going up, or now are we very unsure and we're gonna
man,
pull
I'm
out?
fucking congested.
If the latter happens,
My
what
nose
you're
is
gonna
fucking
see,
dripping now.
you'll have the big money investors, you'll have the whales, they'll pull out. Now they create the waves, so they can pull out whenever they want and then buy low again. And this is what they do.
Shit,
And if you can
I
follow
know
their
there's
movements, then you ride the waves, you do fine. But if the whole attitude changes, the whales are gonna pull out. And then the panic
Oh my
sellers are
god,
gonna
man, my
pull out.
fucking nose is just dripping
And
with
then you could
boogers
have
left
a
and right, dude. It's
serious
pissing me off.
collapse. And a lot of people are afraid of this right now. But it's been such a high. It's been such a growth pattern now that everybody's still kind of riding the high. They don't want it to end. They don't want the party to end. Now here's Ben Shapiro on CNN. He was asked about this. And you know, this is different than politics in my eyes. To me, economics and finance is different than politics. The two worlds are obviously, you know, they're connected, but it's different. It's different. Like when I hear Shapiro talking about foreign policy, I'm just like, yeah, I just completely disagree.
We just need wood.
And there's no changing my mind. But on the markets.
Oh man.
Fast. But here's what Shapiro said with Bakari Sellers. Name, irony not intended. Bakari Sellers here on CNN.
fascinating is if the court does strike it down, watch the stock market absolutely explode. Seriously, you'll watch the S&P 500 jump like nobody's business, and the president is then going to be in the awkward position of having to explain why the markets are boosted by the rejection of the power.
That's what that is going to be our American automakers. I mean, you're going to see their stocks just explode. You're going to see those people who are doing that type of work. For example, we're building cars from Canada, the United States, and Mexico working together. Their stock, to your point, their stock's going to go through the roof.
Fascinating.
So, on the Shapiro take here, I disagree. I think if the tariffs, if the Supreme Court rejects Trump's tariffs, that I think the market collapses, actually. I'm of the opposite side. I think it collapses. And I think the proof is that, you know, part of the deal making right now with Trump is he's promising these companies that the returns are going to inevitably happen. And there's going to be long-term returns when they bring manufacturing and production and rare earths and everything back into America. So to me, he's kind of getting everybody to buy into this right now. And their safety blanket, their safety net is, hey, our stocks are up. So, okay, we're making a bet on whether Trump's economic vision, whether Trump's economic plan is going to work. We're making a bet. We're reinvesting in America, and there's a long-term vision here. But our safety blanket is the markets are booming. So if things don't work out the way Trump is intending them, we can just sell. And our stock prices are so inflated that we kind of get our return right there and we draw even. So they're basically hedging the bets. So Trump is basically hedging all of these big tech companies that Trump is cutting deals with, the investments, the production, all of it.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Trump is allowing
are you
he's
listening to a
helping them to hedge
podcast?
their
Yes.
bets by this
Yes.
massive stock
It's a
market
podcast on
so that
YouTube.
even if the plan fails, let's say Trump's tariffs
What is
get
it
rejected
called?
in the
I
Supreme
think it's
Court, then they can sell their stocks at the highest level ever, and they can keep that return on investment.
It's called the
unsure of
Owen
what's going to
Report.
happen with the U.S. economy. So I think the exact opposite of Shapiro. But time will tell, and we might find out this Friday. But no, I think if the Supreme Court rejects Trump's tariffs, I think the market goes down. I think it's the exact opposite.
I'm sure some people don't.
Because
It's gonna bother them that I'm listening to it, but like I get bored. Sometimes this game I play it and it's just the music and they shut the music off and I get bored. So.
And that's what I'm saying. These old horse stocks,
Oh man.
like a GM or a Ford, which, you know, maybe you could play with a little bit. They're not big. They're small. In fact, they're
God
very
damn,
affordable.
bro.
You can go buy 100 shares. In one of
Okay,
these
all right.
major
So
car
look,
manufacturing companies
I'm
right
slowly
now,
trying
and
to earn my way
you could
back.
probably maybe more so than a
We need
McDonald's
to be
breakfast.
hunting
I'm
some
joking.
deers, so we need to go to the deer
That's not where the
forest.
money is. The money is in tech. The money is in AI.
It's like over here.
So I don't know what he's talking about. Nobody's going back to these old horse stock plays. Nobody. Unless you want to do some quick pump and dumps on $10, $20 stocks and just try to make a quick play on a day trade. Nobody's long-terming Toyota or Ford or GM. Maybe Toyota because they have much more dynamic product base. So I don't think Sellers knows what he's talking about. Now Shapiro.
Oh
he
God.
says what I'm
Okay.
saying. He just thinks it's going to go the opposite direction. But time will tell.
We gotta
Now,
hunt
the
a
whole
lot
AI thing,
of
this is like
deer now.
this is a whole nother conversation. I'm gonna take a pause on that for now because I want to bring on Robert Barnes.
Well,
here, the
actually, we have a
founder of the
full thing of
1776
deer
Law
leather.
Center, the official legal team of the
This
Owen
is all
Report.
deer leather, so
But
I
wanna
think we
talk
have
to
the
him
best
about
I
the
can
Supreme
get.
Court
Unless I
decision
kill a
coming out
giant,
tomorrow.
this is the
And,
best I can get.
and
We
then
are
what he
kind of
thinks is
geared
gonna
for a
happen.
giant,
Now,
but
there's
this
already some
this we
indicators.
cannot really use.
I would say
We
if
need
you're
to make
following this case,
flint arrows.
There's already
And I'd like to upgrade a lot of
it
this
doesn't look
stuff.
like they're
So
going to favor Trump. It doesn't look like
let's see.
it doesn't look like the Supreme Court is going to decide in Trump's favor, I would say. And I suppose there could be I suppose
Oh
there could be
shit! Whoa,
something
whoa,
that
whoa,
sways
whoa.
tomorrow, but I'd say right now it's not looking good. So I'm gonna get Bob Barnes connected here, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get Robert Barnes connected, and I'll play at least one clip. If he has anything else, I'll try to find it. But I'm gonna play something that Amy Coney Barrett said that I think is indicative of two things in this Supreme Court
What? I thought I was
decision
gonna
that
drop
are
something.
Not good. The two things that Amy Coney Barrett said in court
Someone told me to
yesterday.
attack it, so you see a
Extremely
beehive
concerning
shoot it
on multiple
and look
different
at.
fronts.
Okay,
Extremely
there we go. We
concerning.
got that. Yeah,
Bob
guys.
Barnes, the Supreme Court, the markets, coming up here shortly on the Owen Report.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
Can we get some fucking deers up in here? I don't know how those trophies work. You're supposed to be able to put them up in your base, but I'm not sure how they. Oh. Come on, baby.
There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new home for political play-by-play, the Owen Report.
And we're now joined by founder of the 1776 Law Center, Bob Barnes, the official legal team of the Owen Report. You know, Bob, there's probably some things we could talk about in the legal world, but we'll put that aside. We'll put that aside for today's conversation, because I saw that you were covering the Supreme Court case. We're anticipating a decision tomorrow. I think there are some indicators of where we think this might go. I do have a clip from Amy Coney Barrett yesterday I want to play for you.
Oh,
But
what?
I want to talk about where you think this is going in the Supreme Court, and then how you think the markets are going to respond to this. I kind of offered my opinion on the other side. I don't know if you heard it or not. I can re-inject that in response to you.
Bro, throw it!
But where do you see the Supreme
God
Court
damn,
decision
this
going
fucking
tomorrow?
game's
We are
stupid, man.
anticipating a decision. And then what do you think the response from the markets will be, Bob Barnes?
I'd be surprised if we get a decision real quick due to the complexity of some of the issues implicated. So I wouldn't anticipate
Okay,
a
whatever,
decision
man. Fuck
until
this stupid shit.
probably 3 to 4 months from
I'm
now.
not trying to chase this fucking
Wow.
guy to the end of the
You
day.
are a lone wolf in that, sir.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I get people think it's like impending, but the thing is, the court doesn't want to require the mass refunds. So but they're not going to affirm Trump's tariffs. So that's cooked. I see almost no chance. They're going to say that Trump's tariffs exceeded his power, that it exceeded the power Congress gave him, that it's an Article 1 power to do tariffs, not Article 2 power, that it's a major questions doctrine. They'll take that Chevron case with that reverse Chevron and say this also is excessive to the president. The three liberals all are, don't like Trump
Jesus
anyway,
Christ.
but they were very skeptical of their questioning. So
Well, I don't think it's only the liberal judges. I think some of the conservative judges aren't big fans of Trump either.
and even the ones that are don't like this doctrine. So I think don't be surprised if you see a 9-0 ruling against Trump.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There wasn't really a single favorable judicial question outside of one by Justice Thomas that didn't have a problem saying that delegation was within the president's power. That, there's multiple levels. One is, did this statute provide, the emergency statute, provide congressional authority to delegate tariff decisions to the president? And one is that a major question that Congress has to answer? Second is it something that is subject to being delegated in the first place? And then third, even if both of those first two are met, did they in fact intend tariffs to be a particular tool to be used? Because the word tariffs is nowhere in the statute. So they're going to lose on, Trump's going to lose on at least 2 of the 3. So either way, these tariffs are done. Now, you'll expect that what the courts are nervous about is ordering about $1 trillion in refunds. So they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So watch for them to do something like this could be salvaged by Congress ratifying it within 3 months, something like that. They'll try to weasel their way out of ordering refunds in mass. The refunds wouldn't happen immediately, yet it goes through this huge, cumbersome administrative bureaucratic process. So Trump could buy a couple of years, frankly, before the government's got to write any checks. So it's not like a huge bill suddenly due, but it's going to gut Trump's ability to do tariffs going forward. He can do specific ones under specific statutes to protect specific industries in specific instances. But the broad scale power is going to be gone. And this is all, in my opinion, what killed it. He could have gained judicial credibility.
Alright, I'm gonna log for now. We got all of our shit back. Well, we didn't get our shit back. We lost our stuff. We're just starting all over again in a way. I was able to turn off the fucking raids. The last game I was playing, I got into a death loop basically. I was doing a mission. A fucking skeleton killed me. I went back to try to get my stuff. We died. We started dying over and over. We died like 3 or 4 times. Then I try to I have a base right next to where I died, and then that base got fucking demolished by a huge fucking giant. And then I was like, okay, well let me go back a base, and I went to a previous base. Then that base gets fucking gangbanged on by like fucking 20 fucking little midget guys. And they're just fucking killing me left and right, and I couldn't compete at all. So I quit, and then I said, fuck it. I saw on the internet how I can turn off the raids. So I turned the raids off that way they don't just run into my base, and I have a safe spot at least, you know. So so I'm doing that now. I'm trying to get all my armor and all my height. We're gonna basically try to rank everything back up. We want level 3 everything, and we want giant fucking armor and all that shit. So we're gonna try to do our best to get back to there, and it'll be over the weekend. You know, we'll be trying to make some progress, but for now I'm just gonna toss it to the side and try to relax it because I'm not feeling good. I'm a little sick, so but I'll be back. Thanks for watching, guys. Seriously, appreciate it a lot. Thanks for anybody commenting too. I appreciate that.
I do want to ask you your legal opinion.
But I'm out of here for now.